I'm so thrilled that you're here today. Welcome, friends. In this episode, we are going to be making a topiary Easter tree. I am so thrilled to share this idea. I was online shopping the other day and I came across these miniature topiaries and they wanted so much money for them, and I knew we could make something bigger and better for our front porch. Now let's get crafting. I picked up this bucket from my local thrift store. It was 50 cents, but I'm sure a bunch of you have these in your garage already. Take off any old existing stickers, clean it up, and then take it outside and give it some spray paint. I went with a beautiful tan color. Now I'm going to take a piece of foam square from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue that down inside and then take a second one and cut that in half and glue that down inside. I'm using E6000 and hot glue. I'm going to have a supply list down below if you need that. Everything will be listed out there, exactly what I used to make this topiary tree. Now I'm going to go ahead and make an impression into the foam square. Because this is a larger dowel, it's not going to poke in as easy. So I made an impression and now I'm coming in with a knife, but you could use a pair of scissors as well. And then put your dowel in there and glue that sucker in there like crazy. We're talking a ton of hot glue. Then on that other half, we're going to repeat the same thing so that fits on there nicely on the dowel on the other end. Take that foam square, shove it up into your wired cone that I got from the Dollar Tree, and glue that thing into place so again, it doesn't move. We want this to be sturdy quality. We don't want it falling apart. The more glue you use, the better. Now we're going to take some of this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, but you can honestly use mesh netting. This is just what I had on hand. You could also use some burlap. That will take the price down. I wanted to use certain products on mine, so keep in mind when I say that this thing cost me about $20 to make, it actually can be made for much cheaper, and I'm going to give you some spots here and there where you can save on the price of making this. So go ahead and just wrap your whole cone with some type of a fabric that is tan based. Once you've got it all glued into place and the whole thing is completely covered, now we're going to go and move on to the eggs. Now I used 6 packs of eggs for my topiary. But if you choose to cut your eggs in half, you will only end up needing 3 packs. And that can save you some money on the cost of making this as well. I will tell you, doing the cutting in half is a very tedious job, which is the reason why I got lucky and just had a bunch of eggs. And so I'm using these eggs. You're going to see here that I went in through one of the openings where the hole is, and I'm just cutting around the seam. Each of these eggs have a seam on them, so I'm cutting along the seam until they snap in half. They are a thicker plastic, so like I said, it is a trickier job to try to cut all these in half, but it is doable if you want to cut down on the cost and only use 3 packs versus 6. Now I'm going to go ahead and take some of this Spanish moss. I used 2 packs because you want to make sure it's filled in nice and neat and it makes that there's no gaps in between. And we're going to just nestle it right up to the eggs, in between all of them and all over where that fabric is still showing. Make sure as you're pulling off the Spanish moss that you are shaking out a little bit of that extra debris. And then when you've got it all in place, go ahead and take your scissors and give it a haircut. You want to make it so that the eggs are coming out higher than the grass. You don't want them to be too low down in there. You want to be able to see them, and then just give them trims around it, taking your time. This part's actually kind of fun to do. And then just tap it to make the grass that is loose that you cut to come out. Now you don't have to do this part, but again, I thought it was so beautiful to add this extra texture in here. And this is another place where you can save some money if you don't want to do the beaded garland going around it. So I just wired it up at the top, and then I'm going to come down and just keep wrapping it. And when I get all the way down to the base, I'm going to bring it around on the inside, twist it into place, and add some hot glue. Now again, you don't have to do what I'm doing. You could skip that part. And I actually ended up using 2 of them because I really enjoyed how it brought it to life with the second one. So that's another place to cut down on the cost of your project. Now we're going to add in a ton of hot glue again. We are going to slide on the top of our topiary, and then we are going to just twist it so we get the handle lined up with the front that we want. By the way, before you stick the dowel in, make sure your handle on your bucket is the right direction before you put the dowel in. Otherwise, you will be caught with the handle being on the seam side of the bucket versus the front side of the bucket, if you know what I mean. Now I'm going to take these rocks and I'm going to pour them down inside of the bucket. This is going to create some extra weight for the bucket since it's going to be out on the front porch. And then I'm going to come in with one more of these foam squares to add in some support. We want to make sure that this thing is nice and snug inside, and maybe even add a little bit more if you have some extra foam on hand. Really pack it in there because this is going to give it that finishing look where it's not wobbling all over the place. You can use other things too that you might have on hand that you want to shove down in here. It's totally up to you and what you want to use. Then we're going to go ahead and take some more of that Spanish moss, and we are going to just tuck that in and glue it all over to conceal that foam. Now again, here's another place where you can save some money. I totaled everything up that I personally used. This is a new ribbon that they're doing from the Dollar Tree, and it was $3 for the spool, and it's a really thick, wide ribbon, and I love, love, love the colors on it because it matches the eggs perfectly. You can get a ribbon from the Dollar Tree that's much more affordable. They have a beautiful mint burlap ribbon that is a great option as well. And then I just doubled up my two bows, one bigger, one smaller, and it's ready for your front porch to be displayed. Doesn't this make such a beautiful impact? Look at how huge this thing is. It is as large as my outside patio chairs. I hope you give this project a try because it is so beautiful on the front porch, and you can customize whatever you want the eggs to look like as well. Now, if you enjoyed this fun and fast video, maybe you might enjoy one of these other ones that I have done over this past month. There are so many fun and fast projects. And when I say fun and fast, keep in mind that it's a quality project done in a fast video that is fun. So when it says fast, that means it's that the video is not a super long video that you can pop in, watch something quick, and pop back out. If you try any of these, I would love to see them. So come on over to Instagram and do share. I'm going to recommend a couple of videos that might interest you. And please do give this video a thumbs up and click that subscribe button. And until the next episode, bye friends.